It all started like any other night on late-night television. Jimmy Kimmel, seated behind his polished desk, greeted the audience with his usual charm and quick wit. The curtains parted, the music swelled, and the unmistakable presence of Morgan Freeman strolled onto the stage. The audience roared, giving him a standing ovation. Freeman smiled politely, his voice smooth as ever as he greeted Jimmy. Things seemed normal. They talked about Freeman's latest film, his thoughts on storytelling, and even cracked jokes about AI voice clones. But beneath the surface, tension simmered. Kimmel, known for pushing boundaries, seemed eager to poke fun at Freeman's public stances on politics. Freeman, typically calm, gave clipped answers. A strange stiffness settled in. As the conversation progressed, Kimmel leaned in with a question about a recent interview Freeman gave about American media. "You said the media thrives on division," Kimmel said, raising an eyebrow. "Isn't that a little hypocritical coming from someone who's done voiceovers for CNN documentaries?" The audience chuckled nervously. Freeman's eyes narrowed ever so slightly. "There's a difference between narrating a story and fueling fear," he replied. The mood shifted. Kimmel smirked, pressing on. "But don't you think Hollywood does its share of fear-mongering?" he asked, not letting go. Freeman paused, then said, "Hollywood entertains. Late-night TV, on the other hand, seems to like baiting guests." A murmur rippled through the crowd. Kimmel attempted to brush it off with a laugh, but Freeman was no longer smiling. The tension now hung heavy in the studio. "Come on, Morgan," Jimmy said, waving his hand. "We're just having fun." But Freeman didn't laugh. "Some things aren't jokes," he said coolly. Kimmel tried redirecting, switching to a lighter topic about Freeman's love for beekeeping, but it was clear the tone had shifted. Freeman answered curtly, and the usual warm banter had vanished. The band even stopped playing light interludes. Viewers at home noticed too. Social media began buzzing. Clips of the exchange went viral in real time, viewers debating who was in the right. But what happened next turned the moment from awkward to unforgettable. Kimmel made one last attempt to salvage the segment. "Okay, before we let you go, can we at least agree that voiceovers make everything sound smarter?" he asked, then mocked Freeman's signature tone. "Even a cereal commercial," he joked. Freeman didn't flinch. "Jimmy, imitation may be flattery, but ridicule isn't," he said, his voice steely. Then he stood up. The audience gasped. Kimmel looked stunned. "Wait, are you leaving?" he asked, half laughing. Freeman gave a tight nod. "I came here for a conversation, not mockery," he said. Without another word, he walked off the stage, past the curtain, leaving the studio in stunned silence. The camera cut abruptly to commercial. The segment never aired in full. Backstage, production assistants scrambled. Kimmel looked off stage, unsure what to say. When the show returned from commercial, Jimmy appeared visibly rattled. "Well, that was unexpected," he said, trying to smile. "Morgan Freeman, ladies and gentlemen, still one of the best voices in the business." The audience offered a polite round of applause, unsure how to respond. Social media exploded. Hashtags like Hoss Freeman Walkout and Kimmel Clash trended within minutes. Twitter, TikTok, and Reddit were ablaze with speculation. Was it staged? Was Freeman overreacting? Or had Kimmel crossed a line? The raw footage leaked hours later, confirming it was no stunt. Freeman had genuinely walked out, no script, no planned drama. Pundits weighed in. Morning shows played the clip on repeat. Body language experts analyzed Freeman's posture. "He was calm but clearly offended," one expert said. Kimmel's defenders claimed he was just doing his job, keeping it edgy. Freeman's fans saw through differently. "There's a difference between humor and disrespect," a popular tweet read, garnering 500,000 likes. Kimmel's show released a short statement, saying they respected Freeman and regretted the misunderstanding. Freeman, meanwhile, released nothing for 2 days. Then finally he posted a brief video. Sitting in his study, Freeman looked directly to the camera. "I believe in civil conversation. That night I didn't find it," he said simply. His statement resonated. Celebrities voiced support. Viola Davis tweeted, "We stand with dignity. Morgan showed that." Others urged Kimmel to apologize more directly. Rumors swirled that Freeman had canceled all other media appearances. Sponsors for Kimmel's show reportedly raised concerns. "We value respect above viral moments," said one advertiser. Producers scrambled for damage control. A leaked memo revealed talks of a private apology from Kimmel to Freeman. Still, the public debate raged. Was late-night TV outdated? Had it lost its edge or its ethics? Freeman, meanwhile, stayed quiet after his one video. He returned to filming his next project, declining interviews, but the impact of his walkout rippled far beyond one night. YouTube channels created breakdowns, some praising Freeman's composure, others accusing him of lacking a sense of humor. One clip titled, "When Class Meets Crass" hit 12 million views in 24 hours. Others mimicked the event with parodies and skits. But in the heart of the internet's frenzy, a deeper conversation took shape. People discussed the boundaries of humor, the respect owed to guests, and how modern TV prioritizes shock value. Freeman's fans pointed out that he had been consistent for decades, stoic, principled, and never one to entertain mockery disguised as jokes. Kimmel's camp insisted it was all a misunderstanding, but as more people rewatched the footage, opinions solidified. What remained clear was this: viewers were hungry for authenticity, and Freeman, by walking out, delivered something rarely seen on television: a real-time decision to value self-respect over PR optics. Kimmel's next few shows suffered in ratings. The incident hung over the studio like a cloud. Eventually, Jimmy addressed it again on air. "We live and learn," he said. "I've reached out to Morgan. I respect him deeply." It was a start, but the audience's response was muted. Freeman never returned a reply publicly. He didn't need to. His silence became louder than any soundbite. For many, it wasn't a clash. It was a reckoning on the state of entertainment. Weeks passed. The news cycle moved on, but the moment stayed etched in pop culture memory. People referenced it whenever another celebrity was grilled too hard on a talk show. "Don't pull a Kimmel" became slang in certain circles. Freeman, ever composed, carried on, his legend only growing. He showed the world that boundaries matter, even in showbiz. The night he walked off wasn't the end of anything. It was the beginning of a new standard. Audiences realized they wanted something more than laughs. They wanted respect. And in the quiet steps Freeman took off that stage, millions heard something louder than words. Dignity, walking out, not storming, but choosing stillness over spectacle.